welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly Ascension Angel Messages for October 6th through the 12th, 2025. So, before I begin, I'm just seeing an angel number, and I was just about to begin with our intention. And since they popped that in as I was about to do that, let's include this message from the angels 230 as a part of our intention. It says, you have a clear connection with heaven, especially during moments of peace when you feel the certainty that God and the Ascended Masters are watching over you, because they are. So this is a message, a reminder to you that you have a clear connection, and that those moments of peace that you find for yourself, that you carve out for yourself during the day or any point, maybe you have a specific time that you do this, but know that God, your angels, and the Ascended Masters are present with you at that very moment, and that the sign or the feeling or sensation of peace is a sign of their presence. So let us take this opportunity now to set a clear intention where we powerfully affirm this connection, a profound belief, knowing and believing that at that very moment and at this season in your life, you are more clearly resonating with the divine more than ever before. Have faith in your thoughts, the clear thoughts that you receive in those moments, and trust that they are acts of love, gifts from heaven. And they also want you to know that every time you make the connection intentionally, you are strengthening the flow of abundance in your life and peace in your life, because it's from that peaceful connection that abundance flows. And they add enormously. So just take a deep breath. You might want to place your hands over your heart. And just allow your heart to open. And Jesus is coming in as you do this. And he's given us the angel message 68, the angel number. And it says, remember that spirit is the source of your income. Worry doesn't assist you with your finances, but prayer always helps every part of your life. So just as you breathe and expand your heart, you open the situations in your life to the flow of infinite abundance. And they keep writing the word lost. If you at all feel as though you've lost a connection with something very important to you, or maybe they write the word love as if it almost feels like you haven't been feeling a lot of love in your life, meaning that right now there's a lot of frustration or anger or worry or fear. And maybe it just feels like for such a long time, you just haven't had your sight, is the word they keep writing to me as well. And the word clarity, they around love. Just feels like you haven't seen it or experienced it in a long time. And your head is just muddled to the point that you haven't had any real clarity. And you're searching for clarity right now. You're searching for clarities in the form of answers. But first you have to remember your connection. You have to get back to whatever that is for you. What is your touchstone to the divine? Is it through writing, a walk in a park, nature, swimming in the pool, or standing by the sea, listening to the waves crashing? Is it in a high mountain where the altitude is high and the winds are brisk and chilly? Or is it on a warm, sunny beach front? Is it when you are potting your plant or holding a crystal or praying? Might it be cleaning or working with animals? Or children? Or the love you feel for your loved ones? Remember your touchstone. And from this touchstone, if it's been lost to you, if you've not had enough time, just recognize how safe you feel when you remember it. And just how much less you feel lost. And the wisdom that you start to recalibrate towards once more. And notice just how fewer there are of things that you're confused about. just take a deep breath and embody your touchstone fully in your cellular memory, in your emotional body, mental body, your thought process, and in your spiritual body. And so we just take a moment now to just welcome everyone to this week's Ascension Angel Messages. And thank you for returning and being a part of this on a weekly basis. And also to welcome anyone who is recently new to our channel and to anyone who just discovered us today. God bless you, and may you receive what your heart needs to feel reconnected today. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you select the all notification bell, subscribe obviously, and like, and then of course leave your comments, remembering that sharing is a powerful tool of service. If you'd like to get an angel reading with me, you can go to my current channel, theangelschool.com/services. And if you'd like to support my channel with a donation, you may select my PayPal Me link for angelic wisdom. All of these links you can find in the description area beneath this video. Also, if you haven't checked out the monthly Ascension Angel Messages, that'll probably be one of the first links you'll see. And don't forget about the free healing that my mentor and teacher Kim Sear offers on Sundays. It's really powerful, and I urge you to really check that out if you've been just going through a lot of things, physically, even emotionally, and mentally, and spiritually. So let's take a deep breath. And your angels now are standing around you. And there are so many of them. They're holding space for you now. So as you tune in, let's tune into this week's energy. And our expectations and manifestations of this week. They're writing to find a day where you can just truly rest for your soul, where that day can be food for your soul, where that day can be a day of love, where you make room for the presence of love in your life to be in communion with you, and to be a day of inspired activities of love. And this is really challenging for most of us now because of our lifestyle is so oriented around work and busy work. Even if we're not working, it's such some kind of preoccupation that we feel like we have to have with being busy itself. And it can often be frustrating when you don't feel like you're accomplishing anything, when you're making such a sacrifice to be busy for the sake of being busy, because it appears like you're being productive in your life. And that seems to matter mostly to us because of how we want everyone else to view us and how we want to feel like we are successful in the world scheme of things. But love is so much more valuable to our lives, to our souls, to our bodies, and to our families and our loved ones and friends. And what would it look like if we removed the distractions that keep us so busy and preoccupied, that have taken up all the space in our energy for self, and not just as in self, as in you alone, but for self as in all of us, the self, the souls, and our collective souls, making time for love, the connection of love between the souls, and not just the busyness of it all, where we don't have time to connect with each other at a soul level. When we connect with each other at a soul level, we tap into that reservoir of spirit, of divinity. And then our interactions are really sweet. They write first. They're just sweet and harmonious and delicious spiritual food. We feel like we're getting back as much as we give, or as much as we share. And we feel lost right now because we miss it so deeply. But we're on that conveyor belt of high speed busyness and preoccupation with concerns that we all feel tapped out because we're not tapping in enough to fill our reservoir. And everything and everyone in nature is a reservoir of regenerative and restorative life giving energy. And so by carving out a day, no matter what you have to do to sacrifice other things, will allow us to remember that we can accomplish and be and have a full and satisfying schedule, and never missing an opportunity to connect and to love. Every facet of our desires, our dreams, our hopes, our aspirations, our careers, our relationships can be meaningful in this way. And then not exhausting at all. because everybody's being boosted with life-giving energy. Let's take a moment to take a deep breath. They're talking about the signs, feeling vulnerable, having lots of doubts. These are the signs that you're not connecting. Let's take a look at the Archangel that we're working with this week. Archangel Raphael, the Archangel of our health and well-being. And so it only makes sense that this Archangel would really bring this up for us. And, healthy relationships, putting everything into balance for ourselves and taking this moment to stop and pause. It says, see with enlightened eyes and open to abundance. Taking this time, even though you got a lot of stuff on your plate, but a lot of that stuff on your plate is also the imagination of your fears. Your fears create illusions, especially illusions that it creates are fear. And many times, if you don't learn to stop yourself from feasting at the banquet of fear, you will find yourself conjuring all kinds of misunderstandings, misrepresentations, and misinterpretations of reality, and therefore really complicating your life, your day, your moments, because there's entirely too many things popping off in your head in one moment. And I often, I've said it before, it's like a list. And you have this list, and you'll believe all that stuff is real. The list of the day, the list of the moment, and you'll believe it's real. It's not that maybe some of the stuff on the list is not actually something that is on your soul's to-do list. It's just that it's not all important right now in this moment. It's not what you need to do right now. And then the rest of it is just like when you start getting up into it, and once you start doing it, you're like wondering why you're doing this. Or you realize you made a lot of assumptions, and then you just feel like with your finances, I can really just can't say it enough. There's a lot of stuff in there that is illusion in our financial portfolio. That's just illusion. Stuff that you have, that you spend money on, that you think, or you just were influenced and believing you had to have it in order to function. And once you get down to necessity, like soul economy, what does my body need to survive? And what does my soul really need to feel satisfied? That should become your financial portfolio. And I'm pretty sure that you'll see that it will be far less expenses there. freeing yourself in this way eliminates the major fears that you don't have enough and that you're running out. And then it comes down to just this being connected and living in this way that's so meaningful in all your experiences, that the process of abundance, which is so many things just besides money coming to us, but it's opportunities that are just right for you, that just seems tailor-made for you. And those things don't even have to be about career money, but they also include those things. And it eventually becomes about, if we were living from this really, in this really connected way, it really becomes about just being surrounded in a lifestyle that is so fulfilling and satisfying, that that's abundance, and that everything flows. Whatever you need, you have it. You recognize that you have it first. And then when something you need comes, it comes as a gift, almost a pleasant surprise. And then it gets incorporated, and it's not limited in how it becomes a part of your life, or how it's incorporated into your life. It becomes vital, part of a process. And so you really only want to have in your life those things that are vital, that give vitality. If they're not vital, they're going to deplete. They're going to deplete your entire reality. And the functioning of it. So carving out this day for love, for intimacy, for connection, closeness, right? With not just people, but with the things you choose to do. And the way you choose to do the things that you may have to do. And this is the vast ways of carving out that day. It doesn't just mean do nothing, but it's about the approach. And so that you can expand it into more days eventually, once you get in that habit. That until that every day is a day of meaningful connection. Okay, let's take a look at the first card of the week. And these cards were laid down from right to left. So we're reflecting from the inside out. Let's take a look at the first card. Move on. Just move on from those mental challenges. Move on from those people that you tend to just get distracted by in disagreements, or people that just frustrate you. Move on from that. That is already useless to you, and you should move on and totally detach yourself from it. Don't waste your energy on trying to get people to think the way you think and believe what you believe. Because in doing so, by being so attached to the way they're doing things, you become a part of that. And so you'll be the one who's always calling it out, but where you are is stuck in the same mess. So release that, let that go. Find a way to just move on from things that just take up your mental capacity. Look at the things in your mental capacity that you need to move away from, that you need to do better in taking care of yourself in doing so. Start turning your head in the opposite direction. And that would be your touchstones. I don't know why I'm seeing music request. As I saw the two words music and request. I'm gonna leave it like that for now because it might mean something to someone. But definitely it might indicate for all of us just a request to really be creatively expressive, to start turning ourselves in that direction. So, solutions to problems, and then being solution oriented rather than problem oriented. And creativity is a really powerful way of doing that. And we've been having this 10 of Pentacles come up ever since I've used this deck. Pretty, not every week, but most of the week so far. And there's this attention to our home life, right? And all the valuable things in that, our loved ones, are the things that we've accomplished and established. And I almost want to look at, look more at what you've established for yourself and accomplished for yourself. That is this gift, not only to those in your own family, but a gift to your community. Your life is a gift, a very powerful symbol of opportunity and abundance. And so being more, when you start putting less of your energy there, you're going to see that. And when we do that, that's because we have lost sight of what we have. And perhaps now it's time to move away from that and not then turn it on our own lives and our families by being critical of them, but just being grateful for what we have, being grateful for the legacy that we have lived. And that doesn't mean that it was all easy. No, there were plenty of challenges, there were plenty of hardships, but through all of that, you still have achieved something of something meaningful. Like when you look back on your life and you reflect, and it just all seems meaningful. It seems sort of worth it. The complexities of our lives. When we get to that moment where we just have gratitude for it all, that's when you really, that's when you can appreciate your own legacy. Your legacy isn't just perfection. It's both the imperfections and perfections of your life. And the moment that you see it as all crucial and valuable, that's when you have a legacy that then shines and just keeps giving, even when you may not even be at your best. Now we have two tens here, and with the ten of swords, so with swords coming back here again. And I feel like we're learning something right now. Like these pens, through this moth or butterfly's wings here. And it's as if we've seen that this way of thinking just pins us down, right? It keeps us from really, it just usurps all of our freedom. And when we've had enough of that, you're ready to rise above those challenges within ourselves that we create, those illusions that we just keep breathing life into. And once we're ready to let them go, we can rise still with our scars and wounds, but they begin to heal. And we find ourselves even more beautiful and more filled with a desire to live even greater. Now let's take a look at the card. So pull from the bottom of the deck, and it's the Death card. And I feel like with the 10 and the 6 and 2, it's moving on. Okay, something is meant to come to an end. There's something now that we're gonna learn to let go of. This is a powerful week if we really can tune in to reconnect with love in our life, to really, in everything that we do, that it has deep meaning for us, and it's deeply satisfying for us, and our approach and the ways that we do it, if we reinvest ourselves through this lens of love, that it can just open so many new doors, and new possibilities will be available to us. So in this week, don't be afraid to let go of anything. Don't be afraid to move on. Don't be afraid to lose a battle. As a matter of fact, willingly lose. Willingly surrender for your freedom. It may not feel like it in that moment that that's what you're going to earn, but that's what you always earn, is your freedom, and your freedom to be yourself. It's been coming to me when I'm talking to my students, especially my 7th, 8th grade students. Don't judge yourself, be yourself. And being judgment free is freedom. Giving up judgment, giving up watching yourself is freedom. And the freedom is that now you know who you fully are, because you now are able to be who you fully are, and you get to know who you are through that process in its purest and truest form. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a gorgeous week. God bless you.